The Blokebusters podcast is a proud member of the Pod Bros Network.
You can find us as well as other fine shows such as
Sarcasm City,
That's Delightful,
Worst Millennials,
The Ectoplasm Show,
and Late Night Gamers at podbros.com.
Now get ready to sit back and enjoy another episode of the Blokebusters podcast.
Tonight's story is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction.
Police going off! Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And this is?
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Houston, we have a problem.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Now, where was I?
Welcome to Blokebusters.
Episode 100.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Brian.
And yeah, we're at episode
We made it to 100. And then some, but we're calling this one 100, right?
Yes. This will. I mean, if we're going based on solely the number of episodes in our catalogue, this will be episode 167. But we don't work that way. So.
No, because we love to make things difficult here at Blokebusters. It's in our mission statement, so yeah, we stick with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those of you that are listening and have been subscribed for at least 2 months now, you will have seen episode 99. Followed by 2 specials, and then episode 80C and 80D.
Yeah.
And then this one.
Yeah, so everything's on the up and up here at Blokebusters HQ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes, this is, I mean, obviously it's not a film review, but this is a regular scheduled episode.
So if this is your first time with us, first of all, welcome. Thank you for finding us.
Yes.
Tell everyone. And also, this, like Paul's saying, this isn't going to be the normal episode. So not that I know that we have what you can call normal episodes ever, but if you're looking for more traditional film review, look through our catalog, and then maybe start out there. But hey, happy to have you along. So
yes, very much so. Welcome to the fold if you are a newbie. But yeah, this episode, we don't necessarily have something massive plan. We don't have real huge things set up, but we wanted to really take the time to look back at what we've done in the past 100 and some episodes and just kind of reflect on everything and see where we are now and possibly what we're thinking of in the future. We actually don't know. We haven't thought that far ahead as per usual. So.
Very much accurate. Yeah. All right. So let's get into this. Well, I guess let's get some social media out of the way here first.
Yes, sure. And I'm actually going to slow down for this one because
right.
I have been going quick, but this one I'm just going to slow it down and maybe more people will find us there. I don't know. We'll see.
Find out.
So yes, we are on Twitter and we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram and just search Blokebusters and you're right there. We are also now on Vero, which if you have no idea what that is, Google it. It's
I don't.
It's a relatively new social media site that looks interesting, and I think it could take off. So it'll be kind of fun to watch over the next few months and see what happens there. So go check it out. At the very least, it's something new, and that doesn't happen too often in the social media world. We also have an email address, which is blokebusterpodcast@gmail.com. And as I've said many times before, yes, I forgot the second S when I was creating that, and I've just never gone back and changed it. So,
but we move forward. We don't focus on the past.
Yeah, we don't. We're about to, but yes, no, we don't.
That's the whole premise of this episode. But other than that, we don't focus on the past. Touche.
Yes. We also have a website, which is blokebusters.webs.com, which is kind of nice. I kind of like it. I was also the one that made it, so maybe I'm biased. Who knows? And you can also find us on podbros.com, along with many other fine podcasts. It's been huge fun being part of that network, so go and show them some love if you enjoy listening to us here. So, I think that is everything as of right now, so there you go.
Yes, so Paul and I were talking. We were kind of thinking we just wanted to take kind of in this little bit of retrospective, kind of talk about some of our favorite episodes or / moments in those episodes that we just remember or that we just kind of want to touch on. There's a lot to choose from. Absolutely. We have been doing this since 2012, believe it or not.
Yes, I can give
took
you
us that long to get to 100.
Yes, I can give you the exact date if you wish to
August
know.
28th.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first release, yeah.
And I'm fairly certain that took me, 2 weeks to edit? Even though if you actually go and listen to it, you're going to go, that took you 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, please go easy on us if you start off there. Or, yeah, in general. But, yeah, then, just looking through, our release dates are pretty sporadic, but we were kind of consistent every 2 weeks for a while there, and then it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I think life just kind of happened at some point, and it just kept happening until we were able to figure out, I think, a good rhythm.
Yeah, and not all of us can be Chris Hardwick, okay? Not all of us can put out 5 podcasts a week. So yeah.
Hey, if people are willing to pay me for each of those, then maybe I can. But as of right now, no, I can't.
Yeah, it's not your primary source of income. Yeah, but yeah, we kind of slowly got things moving along there in the early years. Yeah. So Paul, I don't know. Did you want to kind of start things off? Is there a place you wanted to begin, an episode that you immediately thought of, or did you have to kind of go back and pick and choose?
Well, I went through the catalogue and I wrote down a few. Yeah, I know we originally said 5, but just going through, I kind of
I kind of went over that. Yeah,
but I figured what's probably best is to go reverse chronologically. Go down, and I don't know why I think that works best, but that's
well, maybe you'll go that way, maybe I'll go the other way.
Oh, there you go.
Just to keep things confusing.
All right. Well, the most recent one that I wrote down is actually the Wonder Woman episode that we did, which obviously we said in our main review of 2017. We said that was probably our best episode of 2017. I completely stand by that. If you want to hear more of our thoughts on that, I'm not going to dwell on this one too much right now because we did.
We did cover it. We've done and just to let you know, it is on my list as well. I figured we'd probably have that one in common.
Yes, it was an episode that I was very pleased with as we were recording it. And a lot of times when we're recording, I'm very in the moment. I'm not thinking about having to edit it or anything like that or how it's going to come across. I'm more focused on the being there and present, but just listening to our guest talking about it, I was just like, you know what, this is going to be one of our better episodes, and it definitely turned out that way when I was editing it. It didn't take me very long to edit at all because I was just re-listening to our conversation and re-enjoying it again. So that was
yeah. So yes, thank you again to Colleen and Nora. Some names that will probably come up again, but but yes, thank you for that episode. So so that was your most recent one, right?
That is the most recent one.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have gone with a couple others straight out of the gate, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go straight for that one because I think it's worth it.
All right. Well, I would like to go with episode 1, August 28th, 2012, The Dark Knight Rises, or They Do Get Better, ! Which I think probably should have been a question mark. They do get better?
Yeah. I will say, anyone that has been listening from episode 1, well, thank you. But you might, if you remember it, that wasn't the original title, but there was a while ago that I went and I changed how we were naming it because we came up with the names and I would make that the name and then at the end I would put it, and I was like, you know what, that's kind of a silly way of doing it because if someone wants to find a particular film, they're not going to want to read the whole thing.
I think the original title was The Podcast Rises.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? When I got down to that one, I was like, they do get better.
Yeah. So I picked this one just because Paul and I had talked about doing this for a while, and then to just finally sit down and do it. Nothing I'd ever done before.
Same here.
Even though it's not like public speaking or anything, I was still really nervous about it. Even though we're just putting our voices on a microphone, and just recording, it was still kind of exciting and just kind of fun to finally get down to it and just get this ball rolling as slowly as it may have gotten rolling, but we did get it rolling nonetheless.
Yes, we did.
So yeah, I just kind of picked that one for sentimentality's sake. You got to respect where you began, or do you? I don't know.
Yeah, I have on several occasions considered not necessarily getting rid of the really early episode because I don't like doing that, but maybe putting something out somewhere that is just like, listen to this first. Be like, hi, if you do listen to the first few episodes, we do change our format a little bit.
Yeah, I'm terrified to even press play on that. And I was like, do I want to listen to a few minutes? Nah, I'm good.
I still vividly remember our original format for going through these films was to go in chronological order through the film, and any time we reached point that we wanted to talk about, we then mentioned it. So it was like, thinking back on it now, it is kind of like, well, I can see why some people record like 20 episodes before they release their first one. But it was, I still wouldn't go back and change it because
we wanted to just get started, so yeah, we did. Yep. So Paul, I guess you're going back to working your way backwards there. What did you have next?
Well, my next one was episode 85.
85, okay.
Yeah, so this was An American Tale.
Oh, okay.
And then trying to remember the full title, I believe. There
are no fat cats in our America. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this one, I remember realizing, we need to do this one. Because I think Netflix has either just added it or I was on Netflix and I saw that and I was like, you know what? This old style of animation film, like, I remember really enjoying it when I was a kid, and then I rewatched it and realized just how dark it went. And I was like, we need to cover this. This is something that I think some people may not even remember or know about at this point because it was such a cult hit. And I don't know too many people that have even mentioned that they've seen it. It's only when I've talked about it for one reason or another, and someone will go, "Oh yeah, I kind of remember that." It's like I feel like this film needs to be more well known and talked about. And I really enjoyed where our conversation went. We were able to talk about the animation style and how you don't see it anymore. And I believe I brought up The Secret of Nim when we were talking about it, and every now and again I do think, I kind of want to cover that one at some point, but I don't know where that would be right now.
Yeah, and because usually people think of actually Fievel Goes West when they think of this character. At least that's my perception.
Yeah, because I believe that one was, at least with children, that one was way more popular. Because that one is way more of a kiddie film. The
deep social issues that are in An American Tale. That was a fun one. That was a good pick. A little something different. We knew, we never do these with. Paul and I talked a little before off mic. We never do these really with downloads in mind. So we're not going to get huge downloads on this, but it was something we wanted to talk about. So we did. Yeah. So moving along, I'm jumping up. Of course, I'm starting at the beginning and moving forward here, and I'm jumping up all the way to episode 21. Any idea? Or do you know? Okay, you're probably looking right at the list there.
I am, yes.
So that would be Pacific Rim or Go-Go Power Jaegers.
Yes.
So I picked this one just because of the love for that ridiculously silly movie. It was just such a joy to sit down and talk about this movie like we were 12 again, because that's really what this movie brings to you. It's no Oscar winner. I'm not saying it's a bad film. There are people that think that, but it is, it is what it is. You're just getting mindless entertainment. Very, very mindless entertainment.
Yes,
and very, very entertaining. But yeah, it was just so much fun because we were just on this, as happened many times through the course of this show, we were very much on the same page. But equally, I think excited to talk about Guillermo del Toro's kaiju flick,
Yes, the love letter to that style of film.
Yes, yeah, so just so much fun. It was just one of those, and then it was at I think it was our first annual UONOs. That's official non-Academy Award awards, for those of you not in the know. That took Best Film Experience. So, yes. Which, fun fact, I don't know, I knew we, on our last episode of the UONOs, I think we had talked about, did we have a name for the trophies? Do you know that we do, Paul?
We do.
I was reading through the descriptions of the episodes. I believe it was in the first annual. We refer to them as the Golden Mics. And now that is not M-I-C-S. It is M-I-K-E-S. So I just envisioned this is just some dude named Mike just sitting in a torn leather recliner that is 30% popcorn at this point,
Yeah,
but in a gold statuette in his mother's basement, more than likely. That's the Golden Mic in my eyes. Yeah,
maybe holding a microphone like just cause.
Yes, So that was a fun little bit of trivia I found through all this digging here. So now we know.
Yes, you're gonna have to write that down somewhere so we can bring it up next time.
Yeah, because we know I won't remember it. All right, back over to you, working backwards.
All right, so the next one that I had that I felt really, really needed to be brought up is episode 62. 62, yes. This was in February of 2016.
Yes.
Do you think you know
this is a good one?
It is? Yes.
Well, I'm looking, yes.
I know you're looking up here. Yeah, let's just drop the pretense, shall we?
Yes, we're all looking at these.
Alright, so yes, this one is Turbo Kid, or It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Take This. I was very happy with coming up with that one. But yeah, Turbo Kid, we were just talking about Pacific Rim as being just so much fun, and it was kind of a surprise because we went into it going like, oh, it's just going to be an action flick, and came away being like, wow, that was so much fun. This one, I knew the premise of it was weird, and that was kind of enough for me, and I came away just astounded at like how much you cared about the characters in it. Like in this ridiculous apocalypse.
So much fun. Yeah, I was able to show this to a good friend of mine recently, and she absolutely loved it. And it's this New Zealand and Canadian co-production. If you have not seen this film, what are you doing? Stop, watch this movie, and then rejoin us.
And then get ready for the sequel when that eventually comes out.
Yes. So excited for the sequel. It is just, I don't think there's a budget available to be found. I did digging and digging, and I think you did too.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything.
It could not have been too much, but they do so much with so little in this movie. It is, I think many reviewers called it pretty much Mad Max on BMXs. It's pretty much all you need to know. It is the wasteland, and it is violent, but it is touching, and like Paul said, you care about the characters. It's unique. It has an awesome synth score to it. Like, I get so happy talking about this movie.
Yeah, and of course, your absolute must for this style of film, you got your Michael Ironside as well. Just the cherry on top there. But yeah,
yes.
I am annoyed with myself that I don't recall the name of the actress who plays Apple. But
she's a French. I think she's a French Canadian actress. So
she
if I remember.
Like I don't care what anyone else says. She is the best thing in the film. She just plays that role perfectly. So
yeah, and I don't. Yeah, so normally we are spoilers, but in this respect, we will not. I don't think we want to spoil anything.
No,
so
I'm very pointedly not mentioning anything else about the film because I want people to see it.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun to talk about. it's always great when you get a gem like that, which makes just recording just so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what next?
I have episode 45.
45,
Kind of came up before we started talking, before we started recording, rather. This would be Mordecai, or quote Johnny, end quote English. Very clever there. I believe that one was mine, so I'll pat myself on the back on that one. But so obviously, the film itself, if you can call it one, you can't, is a dumpster fire of celluloid that should never have seen the light of day. It is just unbearably difficult to watch, and I have seen a lot of Adam Sandler movies, so please know I've seen my fair share of shitty movies. But this one, to talk about it, I wrote this one down just because of, I think this was really like not the first time, but really when my rants kind of came into their own.
Yeah.
I mean, Dread was probably my first rant. I think Dread was my first rant. Like big time. Like, this movie pissed me the fuck off.
And that was only episode 3. So
yes, so I did get an early start, but I feel like this one is really where I started to get a handle on these rants. And like, this piece of shit movie. It was just fun to kind of go off on this pile of crap. And I broke our rating system with this one. As Paul and I say, we're very negative people, so we have a negative rating system, 0 to like -10, essentially. Really quick explanation. Yeah, so yeah, zeros are good, zeros are great, 10s are bad. This one, I think I gave a -infinity too. So if that's even yes, yeah. I don't even know how that works, but the previous topper was Dread, I think, at like a -13 or something along those lines.
Yeah, that was.
So I had broken the scale a little bit, but yeah. This one, like, oh god, yeah. I just nope. Yeah. Screw you, Johnny Depp, and your stupid mustache jokes. But fun to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely made good podcasting.
Yeah, so thanks for that, I guess. Do you have I have a few more. You got a couple more?
Oh yes, I do. I just I was gonna say as well that the thing that I think really made that episode great was episode 42 had been our Dumb and Dumber 2 episode, which we were disappointed with. We then kind of did a sort of a year review-ish type thing. We did a joint thing with In-Session Film, and then 45 was like, okay, we're going back to the cinema. We're gonna watch something. It'll be great. And then it was like, oh no!
I just remember. I'm getting seriously PTSD, like flashbacks now, because I sat in that theater with my teeth gritted the whole time, like not a smile. Like, I'm so effing mad at this, and like I do not walk out of films. I don't think I've walked out of a movie ever. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I've sat through ones I really wanted to. This was one. If I didn't know that I had to podcast on it, I would have walked out of. Yeah. I would have easily walked out of this. I would have paid an extra, however much I paid for my ticket, to walk out of this thing. But I'm like, just sat there so mad. I've never been more mad at events transpiring on a screen. But a fun episode.
Yes.
Listen to the episode, don't watch the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. If you must take anything away from this.
Exactly. Well, what do you have?
Obviously, the last one I picked was episode 62, and this one's all the way down to the one before that, which is Film for Thought number 12, which was our Kung Fury commentary.
Ah, nice.
And yeah, I really enjoyed doing this, and I have no idea if we could ever do it again, because obviously most things that we would consider doing it for are real feature length, and as much as we like films, I don't know if we would we would think that there would be enough need for us to do our own commentary on a film like that. But this was perfect. It was a half-hour thing that I think at the time we felt that not too many people would have seen, so it was another way of getting the word out on it. And it was, of course, another reason for us to just rewatch Kung Fury. So I remember really enjoying this, especially as I think it came out very shortly before we started recording it, that you had watched it on, I don't know if you watched it through iTunes or something else, so you watched it with no subtitles when the Germans were speaking. And you
because I think I bought it for like $10 or $7 or whatever it was on iTunes. Yeah. And then it was like on Netflix like 2 days later. It always happens to me. But yeah, there were no subtitles for the Germans.
So when we were watching it for the commentary, I was like, why don't we watch it here? Because there's subtitles. And you were just like, there are? So I got to watch you actually knowing what they were talking about, which was ridiculous.
So this is kind of an insight into our psyches too. We just love picking these weird, fun things.
Yes.
So yeah, even though the name of our podcast might lead you to believe that we were talking about mainstream things, a lot of times that is not always the case.
Obviously we try and go for a good mix, and sometimes we manage that.
We get those big ones, and we will. Yes, the next episode, you will see possibly the biggest film in a very long time.
Yes,
we will be talking about. Yeah, it's a nice tease. Okay, so anything more on Kung Fury?
Not right now. No.
Okay, I had a few more. I'll try to run through them quickly for you since I went over our limit here. I'm going to jump out of sequential order and circle back. But I had episode 98 A and B. That is our Stranger Things discussion with Janelle Engel.
Yes.
Just such, obviously, everyone knows that watches it how great of a show it is. I don't need to emphasize that.
Yeah.
If you're not watching, then obviously it's probably not for you because you would have seen it by now. But it's just so much fun to talk about the show and to talk about it with a great guest that loves it. I just really like those episodes, and I will enjoy doing more of the the premium television episodes in the future. I think those are a lot of fun.
Yes.
And then going back all the way to episode 74, that would be August 11th, 2016. That was Star Trek Beyond, or Not Enough Lens Flare.
Yes.
So I just really quickly picked this one because it was, although not Paul's introduction, my introduction to our honorary blockbuster Kelly Griffin, because of scheduling misunderstanding for her film spotlight episode. The whole this Thursday, next Thursday, whatever it is, situation. So yes, lack of communication on whoever's. Yeah, but anywho, this was like the first time podcasting with her, and that was just a lot of fun. And then I did pick. This is kind of a cheat. I picked. I guess we're technically one episode, but broken into 4 parts. Paul already knows what this is now.
Yes.
So that would be episode 80A through 80D, December 11th and 16th, 2016, and February 14th and 22nd, 2018. And those are our discussions on Black Mirror. Yes. So once again, Kelly Griffin is our Black Mirror official expert, and having her on. Once again, just like Janelle, someone that's so connected with the material and loves talking about it. We love the show, so it's just always fun to get together, and we talk too long, which is a great thing. I know that the plan was just to kind of have one episode there for the first couple seasons, or first 3 actually. Yeah, but that did not happen. And then we thought foolishly that we could do it again with the fourth season, and nope, had to break that one up too. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for people that want to know, we did record 80A and 80B in one go. And then while I was editing, I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be like an hour and 40 minutes or so. I'm going to have to break this up into 2 parts." And then we were like, "Well, we'll probably only need 1 session for season 4." And an hour and 28 minutes and an hour and 41 minutes for that. So the last 3 episodes of season 4, we talked for 4 minutes less than we spent on seasons 1 through 3. So that kind of tells you how much more we had to say, and how much more comfortable we were with just going on and on about it.
Yes. Once again, I just love talking about that show, and I love talking about it with Paul and Colleen. So, I know we did want to get into some kind of episodes where we thought we could have maybe done a little better, done things a little differently. I'm hoping Paul doesn't mind I do just 2 minutes here to give a quick thank you to our honorary blockbuster, Colleen, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, go
just
ahead.
because she's been such a huge part of the show. I wrote them down. Considering how you want to count the Black Mirror episodes, it was 3 recording sessions, but we broke them up into 4 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you count those as 4, she has now done 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 appearances on the podcast. So we will have to get her some sort of 10 timers jacket or something here, windbreaker perhaps. Yeah, she's just a great guest to have on. She brings the funny and the facts. So yeah, she's just our honorary blockbuster, and just love having her to come on to talk about Death Becomes Her or Wonder Woman with Nora. Shout out to Polton for Death Becomes Her.
Yes.
But yeah, always count on her in a pinch to come on, and she's just a great podcaster. And check out Soiled Restroom Cinema, where you can hear her and Honor Night and the new crew they got going on over there. So yeah, good. If you like people talking, if you like How Did This Get Made, let's just put it that way, you'll love SRC. So yeah.
Yes, right, sure.
Yeah. So thank you, Colleen. And then moving on, did you have anything else to add before we got to our last little section?
Yes, I've got 3 more that I wrote down here that I'll just get to real quick.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I thought I thought that was your last one. I apologize. That's why I ran through that so quickly.
That's fine. I kind of like that we kind of sped through that bit, so I'll speed through these. No problem at all. I got episode 51, which was Terminator Genesis, or Terminated, Revelations of Genesis, because, well, we didn't like this one either. And for people that are fans of the time travel conversation where Brian goes a little cross-eyed, this has, and I'm fairly certain I timestamped this, but yes, this has 16 minutes of me going over the time travel in the franchise and how badly Terminator Genesis fucked it up.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yes. Yeah. Let's not focus on that too much more.
No.
What else you got?
On top of that, I've also got episode 28, which is Ender's Game, or Ants, A Bugger's Death, which for people that are a fan of Ant, A Bug's Life, and Ender's Game, that is a fantastic name. Thank you very much. But yeah, this one, it was something that I was really looking forward to because I started reading the books and I really got into the books. And so I went into this being a new fan of the series, and you had read it when you were younger. And so we had 2 very different viewpoints when we were reviewing it, which I think was one of the first times that really happened on the podcast. So that was a lot of fun. And then also, I've been thinking back on the film as time's gone on, and I would actually kind of like to maybe just do a mini episode or something where I do a renewed review of it, because I think my feelings have changed somewhat towards it. So I think it'll be fun for me to go back, listen to what I had to say in that episode, and then bring out my new thoughts on it as sort of, I don't know, an updated review, or however you want to look at that. And the last one that I wrote down was one of the biggest gets for us, especially so early on, with episode 26, which was having Adam Rifkin come on and discuss Director's Cut. And
absolutely,
yes, for those of you that haven't gone to listen to that, go and listen to it. But yes, Director's Cut is something that Penn Jillette wrote, Adam Rifkin directed. They were kickstarting it in 2013, and we contributed a little bit to that. Adam Rifkin was very kind to come on our podcast and talk about it, and talk with us for about 10 minutes longer than he actually had. So that was phenomenal of him. And as is the way with making films and stuff like that, this film, which they were fairly certain they would get out to everybody within a year, is going to be with us in about 3 months' time. So
that's how tough it can be. But you'll get Paul Blart 3 in no time. So
yes, exactly. But I think I can say for absolute certain that myself and Brian will probably review Director's Cut. So if you want a little bit of backstory on that before we do it, episode 26 is where you got to look for that. So there you go. And my honorary mentions were like the first 10 episodes because, as we said, we were really finding our feet then, and we didn't want to do the thing where we just record ourselves talking for 5 episodes, figure out how that was, and then actually put out an episode, because I don't know if we would have actually started if we'd have done that. You know, I think if we'd just sat and recorded ourselves,
would have been too disheartening.
Yeah, we'd sat to talk to each other, and then I would listen back to it and not do anything to it, and then I would we'd do it again, and then I'd listen to it, and then we'd do it again, and then it'd be like, well, do we think we have something here? Can we put it out now? It's like, no, we wanted to record ourselves, we wanted to get it out there, we wanted to do it, and that was how this whole thing started, and I'm very glad we did. So
you're here to that, yes.
And anyone that hasn't listened to our first few episodes and decides to do it, just as it does say, we do get better.
I think that, I think that's fair to say. We do improve. Mm-hmm.
All right. So obviously that's episodes that we really liked or really wanted to mention. And how about the ones that we're more so on?
Okay. Do you want to? I only had a couple here. Did you want to start off, or I can start off? I don't care.
I've only got a couple too. So why don't you start since I started?
Okay. So I'll just get this out of the way because you might think this is just hear me out on this. But I picked episode 26, Adam Rifkin.
All right.
As not that I don't love that episode, but I would. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of I would like to talk to him where we are at now.
Yeah.
Having the experience we have now, I feel like I don't know this. I project a lot on people, but I feel like he might have at points thought, "How did I get into this? What did I agree to?"
Yeah. So.
But I felt like I don't feel like we were awful, but I feel like we are definitely better now. So that's the only reason I wrote that down, is to have, since we've talked with so many different people now, that I think we would things would be a little smoother. But still, I really enjoy that episode. Yeah. So that's the only reason I wrote that down.
All right. Well, the first one that I wrote down, like I said, there's only a couple here, but the first one, just thinking back on it, is actually episode 22, which is The Wolverine, or Mortal Kombat. And the reason that I wrote that down was I was thinking back on it, and I think the film is very meh. And I feel like, thinking back on our conversation on it, I feel like we maybe weren't 100% invested in reviewing it because we were feeling very meh about the film, and it being early enough on that I feel like we weren't the best at finding the things to be able to talk about.
I can see that, yeah.
So I feel like it would be really great if we could maybe at some point in the future kind of do a retrospective of the whole X-Men film series up to like Days of Future Past, and like just cut.
I refuse to watch Last Stand. I will let you know that. I will not watch the Last Stand.
I had a feeling that you might say that.
I did not recognize that. No.
No. Okay, fair enough.
And we know how
that by myself.
The whole X-Men timeline is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel like, especially now, we could do better on that one. So,
okay.
All right, what did you?
I had I did have one more, but I did think of another. So just run through that. Another one would be episode 31, Wolf of Wall Street, or Catch Me If You Can too. This is kind of looking just for what we're doing here, but through current lenses, I'm a little ashamed and embarrassed that I kind of enjoyed this movie at some point. It is a hedonistic pile of crap in my eyes now.
It is.
It's sexist. It's hedonistic. It's terrible. 4 women, 2 women, and this guy essentially gets off scot-free with this behavior. And so from that, I'm just a little embarrassed by it. But I just wanted to bring that up, put it on record there, that I, as of this date and any date moving forward, not a fan of that movie, and ashamed to think that I ever did enjoy it on some level at some point. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up that one.
All right. I mean, I definitely get behind what you're saying there. I will say there are several bits in that film that are just fantastic. Obviously, the Quaalude scene.
I mean, you can have good movie making, but have the subject matter not be cool.
So, I mean, the biggest problem with that film is that the main subject is just a complete unlikable bastard if you think about it for longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah, the anti-hero of anti-heroes. I mean, just any group of people with it are offended by that movie. I mean, just from little people to, women, everyone. Yeah, so. Yeah, did you have a side one more? Did you had one?
Yeah, I just have one more here. And this is entirely because I would be perfectly happy if we just hadn't done this one. And it's more like with Wolverine, but I just thinking back on it, I'm not sure I really had any opinions on the film one way or the other. And it was episode 37, which is Godzilla, or Run, it's Gojira.
Not loving that subtitle, but
the only reason it's in there is because it's an Austin Powers joke.
But what's your reason for this one?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of the same with Wolverine, where I again was just very meh about the whole thing. I was expecting way more, and it just under-delivered, and I feel like this one was all me. Like, I feel like I just was very deflated during the recording. Maybe if I go back and listen to it, I won't sound that way, but I just remember, even after finishing recording, I just remember sort of being like, yeah, all right.
Well, it's such a mediocre movie to get excited about. I know it has its fans, but neither of us were big ones of this. I don't want to speak for you, but correct me. I'm trying to remember, Paul, was this one of the few films we actually watched together?
I think it was.
I think we saw at the rave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I've only done it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, just with that.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. But yeah, it's just, I feel it was tough to get energy up to talk. Like, you want them to either be awful or kind of amazing, and this was just neither of those. It was closer to the awful side of things, but
yes, very much so.
Wasn't bad enough to make so much fun of it.
And 2014 was an interesting year for us because we were really sparse that year bringing out the episodes, and I feel like we had a tribute to Harold Ramis. We did Captain America 2. We did the Day of the Future Past, Edge of Tomorrow that we enjoyed, and then you just got this Godzilla in there that it's one of the shortest ones of the year. I think it's the shortest review that we did that year, and it's just I think it kind of stands out for me as maybe we'll be okay without it.
Okay. All right. Oops.
I think that's it for my.
I just had one more, and it's not only going to take 5 seconds probably because I don't have anything to say about it really, but it's episode 15, Evil Dead, the remake, or Evil Dead on Arrival. I do not remember this at all. This is the reason I wrote it down. I have no recollection of doing this review at all. No, I have a notoriously very spotty memory, but I can remember that we recorded everything that we recorded together. I at least know it happened. And when I was looking through this catalog earlier today, trying to think of the best and the worst, and I was like, oh, Evil Dead. I'm like, oh, that must have been one scheduling I couldn't do, And I'm like, Paul had to do it on his own or with another guest, and I looked, and nope, I'm on it. Yep. And I don't remember a damn thing about it.
I remember coming away from this one because obviously I'm definitely a newer fan of Evil Dead than you are, but I had been a fan for a while. And then this one came out, and I went to see it again. Like, oh, well, this could be interesting. I wonder what they're going to do. And it's just like, oh no, what have you done? It's just, it was so bad. And I think this was, obviously, it wasn't as bad we thought as Dread, but I think it was the first film that we didn't like since Dread. So it was very interesting. We went 12 episodes. 12 reviews until we found another bad one, and it was this one. And I'm not surprised you don't really remember it, because I only remember bits and pieces from that film, and as people know, when it comes to my memory for cinema and TV, it is quite remarkable that I don't remember much from the film.
Yeah. I don't. There's two things. I don't remember seeing the film. I don't remember talking about the film. So who knows what was going on in my life at that point? But so this is just a complete black spot that I'm never getting back, apparently. So maybe, I don't know. I'm hearing that I probably shouldn't give this film another try, but
I wouldn't. The only reason I would even consider it is I think they might still possibly be considering doing the sequel, which would tie the two sets of timelines together. So I don't know if the Ash vs. Evil Dead has kind of just become that, and they're not going to bother anymore. But I think they might possibly still be going ahead with that.
Okay, well, good luck to them, but I'm probably just going to cut my losses here.
Probably a good idea.
Probably a good idea. Did you have any other thoughts? I know we want to do a little other something special here at the end, but any other thoughts on 100 or
I don't necessarily
things along like that?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a particular thought about any more of the ones we've done. It's just so interesting to me that we are 100 reviews, I'll say, into this, and obviously so many other side things that we've done. And I am still as much, if not more so, excited to record every single episode of this podcast, because bloody hell, it's a lot of fun.
I can only agree, yeah.
I don't get the chance to really sit and talk with too many other people about what we talk about. So being able to get this out, being able to talk to other people from other podcasts, being able to get some of the guests that we've had, it's just realistically, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this in any other way. So it's just I'm going to be enjoying this until the day that I just can't do this anymore.
I did want to. You did bring up something. I do want to just thank you to all of our guests that have appeared once or 100 times. So, thank you to everyone all the film spotlights, all of the just random popping ons of the reviews and specials and award shows and crossover podcasting and stuff. You make it a lot of fun, and it always adds a new dynamic that we always, I think, are really interested and all here for.
Yeah, very much so. And I can only hope that moving forward, it's just more of the same, and maybe testing the waters with a couple of other things. And I know that I've mentioned a few episodes ago sort of an idea that I had. We're still kind of thinking about it and trying to figure out the best way of doing it, which I think is another slight different from how we were originally. Like, we came up with this idea. I came up with the idea, and I was like, I kind of want to actually workshop this a little bit and kind of get it right when we start it. And I think now we have the luxury of that, because we have so many other things we're doing. I can actually take the time to figure out how am I going to make this work so that it'll be great when we first do it? And I don't have to think, well, no, we need to get it out because we haven't done an episode in a month.
Yeah. So yeah, let's. We got time in the lab to tinker with the formula.
Yes. The only other thing I was going to say here before we do the last thing is, what are you most looking forward to in the next few months that we will probably be covering?
Next few, I think Solo falls under that umbrella, does it not?
Probably. I believe a few would bring us to that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's probably the one for any continuing listener or any of our diehard listeners. I have mentioned that I believe it was on recording that I am skeptical on this movie. I know it has a lot of hype on it. I am excited about it. I am ready to be let down by it. I am happy, more than happy. Please, I will be so happy to say I was wrong. But I think Donald Glover was the story here, as you know, and not Solo. So. But I don't know, and then changing the directors, so we'll see. But I'm very eager. I hope we're able to get that review out. I know things are a little difficult, for your scheduling, but to get to the theater. But that's kind of the one on my horizon that I'm kind of most interested in seeing.
All right. I'll say I'm very interested because I want to see if they're able to pull off what kind of going to be the start of a big finale. I want to see if Infinity War is as good as it should be. Because they've had so much time building up to this, and they've had so many winners, regardless of where you fall on comic book films. Like, just as bodies of work, they've been so good that I'm interested to see if they're able to pull off a huge ensemble film without being too muddled.
Yeah, I feel like that was that would obviously be my other pick, but I mean, things I'm hearing are encouraging.
I'm trying to stay out of pretty much any spoiler territory whatsoever.
Yeah, and with the most recent addition, which we to the MCU, which we'll be covering here. Sorry, in our next episode, I'm very excited to see how that plays out.
Me too.
So there's a lot to look forward to. But so many balls in the air that it can be very difficult logistically for it to kind of make sense and not just be a lot of noise on screen. So here's hoping. I think they'll get it right.
And also, I'll say it here as well, just hopefully Stan Lee is able to get through everything that's been going on recently. He's had one hell of a year so far. I don't know if people have been keeping up with it, but he was rushed to hospital a couple of times. He most recently has had, if not pneumonia, but something very similar to that. And also he has had $1.4 million stolen out of his bank account. Yeah,
that's kind of a downer. I will say, Paul, I don't know if you just got a notification. We did get a response here with this is all live. Did you see what I'm referring to here?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Just had it flash up on the phone.
I will guess I can let you take that from. I'll introduce it here from the Vern at Video Vanguard on Twitter. And what did he have to say, Paul?
Well, good old The Vern has said, congrats on hitting 100 episodes. Really glad you're on my feed, and we're glad we're there too. And I look forward to many more shows. By the way, if you need me to be a guest again, I'm more than ready. Yes, I think
we're good. No. I'm only teasing, Vern. We would love to have you back.
Yes. Yeah. We will figure that out at some point soon, I'm sure.
And aren't you so glad you tweeted us while we were still recording?
Yes. Thank you for getting a hold of us.
You got to mention there.
The last 10 minutes or so. There.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think without any further ado, we have a little bit of something different now. How are we going to go about this, Paul?
Well, I'm not 100% sure exactly how we should do this, so I think I'm just going to kind of do it.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, basically, a while ago, I was contacted by someone who works for Wild Eye Distributing, a company they are one arm of the Wild Eye Releasing, which is a company that covers a whole bunch of independent cinema, mostly horror, art house cult films. And anyone that falls into that remit, actually, before we go any further, you can submit your film for consideration to them. So I would hardly recommend you do that if you happen to have something in the pipeline in that respect. But yes, just in talking to someone from there, I was able to get a hold of about 7 films of theirs in their current catalogue that we are going to start using as giveaway items. So,
yay!
It only took us just under 6 years, but
to start giving back.
Yes, exactly. We finally can give you something you actually want, which is a physical copy of a film.
Yeah. And I also told Paul that in addition to these films, I think I'm going to start using this as an excuse to weed out my DVD collection that never really gets to see the light of day. So,
so you might get a random extra lucky dip there.
Yes.
In the giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if you need to pay it forward, even if that's to a dumpster, I don't need to know. That's fine.
So yes.
But real quick, do you want me to just go through the titles here?
Yes, and for those listening, we're going to list the titles, and that's it. So if you like it based on the title alone, let us know. If not, we will kind of randomly select, but we'll get into that in a second. So what are the titles, Brian?
All right. So did we say this? So these are all pretty much art house horror. All right. So,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll keep that in mind. These are not dramas here, rom-coms. So we have Devil's Well, Beware the Lake, Dead Story, The Blessed Ones, or The Blessed Ones. Well, I don't know. Take your pick. My Little Sister, Ghost Witch. I think I should reverse that. Ghost Witch, My Little Sister. But those are 2 different movies. Yeah. And then 2047, Virtual Revolution. Yeah.
All right.
So, kind of, I don't know. Some of these might be some B movies. I think they'd all be kind of fun, but they aren't my genre, so I kind of want to get them out of here. So let's take them, people.
Yeah. Yes. So the way we're going to run this is, because it's the first giveaway, we're going to give away 2 to one person for this one. And then in our episodes going forward, we'll give away 1 per giveaway until we are out of these. And then if Brian continues to want to give away some of his own personal stash, we might have more.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So
anybody want some serendipity action? I got it.
So yeah, the first giveaway, basically all we really want you to do for this one, it might be a little bit more in depth down the line, but just for this one, we just want you to get a hold of us and say, like, basically, if you enjoy listening to us, and if you have a pick out of those films that we listed, tell us. If not, just say something like, give me my films, and then we'll just give you 2 random out of the pile. We'll get you the one from the top and the one from the bottom, just so you can have that there. And yeah, you know, if you want to leave a rating or review on any other thing, like on iTunes, perhaps.
That goes for all of you.
Yeah.
Rate and review us on iTunes. We never ask, but we're going to ask on episode 100.
Yes.
It does help other people find us. Just you don't even if you just want to click the 5 stars there, you don't even have to review there. But just a few kind words, or whatever you want to put. Be honest.
Yeah, do be honest. I do hate one of those things that a lot of podcasts do, and I understand why it's done, but it's sort of just like, I'll just rate us 5 stars on iTunes. It's like, well, I kind of feel annoyed that you're just being like, just give us 5 stars. It's like, no, come on. The rating system's there so that you can be honest about it, you know?
Well, I did just say that, but
No, you didn't. You clarified.
I would like 5 stars, but only if that's how you strongly feel.
Yes, exactly.
But kind of consider us too like a Lyft or Uber driver. If we got you there safely, if we didn't kill you, I think that's 5 stars. So
yeah. We did not have any negative impact on your day whatsoever.
Yes, because if you're still listening to it at this point, that is your choice. I'm sorry, but it's on you.
But yes, as we said for this first giveaway, just get a hold of us. Like, send us a message. Let us know that hey, you want the films. You've won the giveaway. The first person to do that, you'll get them. Like, we'll get your information from you afterwards, and we probably won't publish it for everyone to see, but we will get them to you. And moving forward, maybe we'll have a little fun with this. I don't know. We'll see where the feeling takes us.
Exactly. Well, I don't think I have anything else to add here. Do you?
Not really. The only thing I would even consider just saying here is thank you to everyone that listened, and hopefully you're going to listen to 100, 200 more.
Oh dear God. We'll have to renegotiate those contracts. Okay.
Yes. Okay. 10 more. There you go. Just give us 10.
All right. Let's sign on for this. Okay. Cool. All righty. With that, yes, I agree. Thank you, everybody. And I have been Brian.
And I've been Paul.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.